Hello viewers, Variety and Fun Math presents to you this interesting math question. Pam is 24, she is twice as old as Lee was when Pam was as old as Lee is now. How old is Lee? What a question, makes one go, whoa! Anyway, I'm about to take that question, and just so you know, I do the same question on my other YouTube called Martin Tutorials. The one point with Variety and Fun Math, I always assume you don't know any math. It's for people who want to learn about math that don't know anything. On Martin Tutorials, my other YouTube, I solve it twice, including the same method as here. The only difference, it's much faster over there. So let's say you find my methods really boring, it's too slow. I will put a link in the description to Martin Tutorial versions, and you can see the same method a lot faster than over here. So anyway, let's get on to this question. We told Pam is 24, and we notice there are different time periods. There's now and another time in the past, because it talks about when Pam was as old as. So what I did is I made this diagram, and we still don't know how much further back it was. So I just used the words now and then, and I wrote Pam and Lee. And I'm going to fill in what I do know. We told Pam is 24. So that's not a variable, or could be, or maybe. I'm going to just fill in that 24 now. Okay. She is twice as old as Lee was. All right, so we don't know how long ago this previous time was. What we do know is Pam is twice as old as Lee was at that time. So Lee, I'm going to write a 12 in, because at that time Lee was 12. Okay, and I love little papers because I can move it about as I'm teaching to the different parts. Now she is twice as old as Lee was when Pam was as old as Lee is now. That time when Lee was at that time, Pam was as old as Lee is now. Pam's age then is the same as Lee now. We don't know what it is, but if it's the same, I'm going to call both of them X, because it's the same. Okay, Pam is 24. She's twice as old as Lee was when Pam was as old as Lee is now. So there's my diagram between now and then. Okay, now I'm going to start with equations. I'm going to make a statement. The amount a person aged in a certain time is a new age minus the old age. For example, if someone is 10 years old and another time they were 7, the amount they aged was 10 minus 7, which is 3. So in the same way, between Pam's new age and old age, how much did Pam age? Pam aged 24 minus X, I wrote over here. And for the same reason, Lee aged X minus 12. Lee was 12 then, Lee is X now. So the amount Lee aged is X minus 12, which I wrote there. It's just like this person was 7, it's now 10, the age 10 minus 7. So this is the amount that Pam aged, that's the amount that Lee aged. Now one thing I know for certain is they both aged the same amount because it's the same period in time. Like if we still don't know how long ago, we're going to calculate that. Let's say it was 10 years ago, Pam aged 10 and Lee aged 10. If this then period, I'm just making up a number. Let's say it was 4 years ago. Pam aged 4 and Lee aged 4. In the same time period, everyone ages the same, unless, of course, someone was born or passed away, unfortunately. So I can therefore equate these two equations. The amount they aged is exactly the same. So 24 minus X equals X minus 12. And if I say that in words, the amount that Pam aged is the exact same as what Lee aged during that same time period. So now what I have to do is simplify this equation to solve for x. And I'm going to show you a fun picture here. I always say an equation is like a balancing scale. Like an equal sign means each side is the same. If I have a balancing scale and each side is equal, it will remain balanced if I do the same to each side. For example, if I add on 1 gram to the left and 1 gram to the right, it will balance. It'll still be equal. If I add on 1 gram to the left and 2 grams to the right, it will not balance anymore. It's the same principle. Here's an equation, an equal sign. If I must add or subtract the same thing to each side. And I always say in math, every step, there's two things I always want. First, it has to be true and it has to be helpful. I'm putting plus x on each side. Of course, it's true based on what I just explained. If you have an equal sign, I add the same amount to each side, it will still be equal. Now, why is it helpful? Because minus x plus x, the x's will disappear on the left. And if all the x's are on one side, it's one step closer to solving. It will be easier. So now if I simplify, 24 minus x plus x is now 24. And x minus 12 plus x gives me 2x's minus 12. X plus x is 2. It's like one soccer ball plus another soccer ball is 2 soccer balls, or one eraser plus another eraser is 2 erasers. 1x plus another x is 2x. So now we've got 24 equals 2x minus 12. And it's time to use my balancing scale again. We have an equal sign. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. So I'm adding on 12 to both sides. If left equals right, left plus 12 must equal right plus 12. It's true because it's the same on each side. And it's helpful because I'm eliminating the numbers on one side, those 12s over here, to make it simpler. So the left side is 24 plus 12, gives me 36. The right side, 2x minus 12 plus 12, is like 2x plus 0. So I just have 2x. See, it's a balancing scale, and left and right increased by 12, so it still balances. So we have 2x equals 36. I just switch sides from the left to the right. It's just because we want to solve for x. If 36 equals 2x, 2x equals 36. And it's balancing scale time once more. What I do to the left, I do to the right. I notice if I have 2x, if I divide by 2, I'll have just x. But if I divide by 2 on the left, I have to divide by 2 on the right. Two sides are equal. If left equals right, left divided by 2 equals right divided by 2. So 2x divided by 2 gives me x. 36 divided by 2 gives me 18. X equals 18. X is Lee's age. And I'm just going to fill it now in pencil over here. X is 18. Now, I can see over here 24 minus 18 is 6. And 18 minus 12 is 6. Remember we said new age minus old age is how much they both aged. The reason why I'm doing that, I'm just checking. I get 6 on both sides if I subtract the new and the old age. That's good, because if I got a different answer, if I got 6 on one side and let's say 7 on the other, it means I made an arithmetic mistake somewhere. I'd have to go back and find that mistake, because they aged the same between now and then, what I talked about earlier. That shows I'm correct. Therefore, Lee is 18. Lee is 18 years old. That is the answer to the question. X is 18, therefore Lee is 18. Thank you for watching and have a great day. This was a very slow method of doing it, and I will give the link to the faster version. Thank you for watching, and Lee is 18.